So for those of you who don't know, in the past year, we completely transitioned our e-commerce platform to a new platform. We launched a mobile e-commerce site where we didn't used to be mobile. We launched a new distribution center, so we're bi-coastal now in our distribution for our furniture product. We moved our call center. We moved on to central replenishment rather than manual replenishment. We've brought the merchandise into alignment across the business. We've got our merch teams actually thinking about online-only product and how to expand the assortment online and further differentiate ourselves, so that the change that has come over the course of over the past 18 months has been tremendous. And the website and the technology platform is the visual and kind of sexy part that everybody gets to see. But it's all of the hard work that all of the teams are doing that are behind the scenes that really make the numbers happen. So my hat's off to the entire organization for all of the support and hard work that we've done to get us to where we're at right now. So that said, year over year, we're up 67% online right now. And we're rocking. And month to date, so far, I know we're only a week and a half into the new month, but we're up 88% in the month of August. So the business is really starting to take hold and move forward. What's really exciting about this is not just necessarily the raw comp, but we're really excited about the comp in units. What this shows, right, is it's more than us just selling more furniture, right? We've proven that we're pretty darn good at selling furniture on the web. What we have yet to prove is that we can be great at selling other stuff on the web. So to see the unit growth start to improve is huge, right? It means we're starting to expand out into the other pillars, and I'll come back to that in a little bit. And our conversion rate. This is something that we're really, really proud of, right? It's easy to buy top-line sales numbers. As Barry always talks about, it's easy to buy a comp, right? It's hard to do it profitably. And it's the hard work that you guys put in place, out in the field, in the stores on conversion. It's the same thing online, right? Watching every customer interaction and making minor tweaks to the process of how people go through the site to improve the customer experience and turn more of those browsers into buyers. So our year-over-year conversion rate for our customers is up almost 50%. So really exciting stuff. Merchandise alignment. So this is one of the kind of stakes in the ground we put in place when we presented the new strategy for e-com to the board. So when we came in, there was a huge swath of product that was not on the site. And in kind of the demonstration we gave in the board meeting was, if a customer comes out to the site and they search for incense, was the example, right? Because we've got a 4-foot section of incense in the store. If they search for incense, no incense was found on the site, right? No incense holders, none of that stuff. So the customer doesn't assume that we sell incense in the store and we just don't sell it online. They assume that we don't sell it, right? So they never show up in the store. So we've made huge progress and have invested, about $1.5 million in aligning the assortment between what is in-store and online. So we're now at the point where about 87% of the product that is sold in-store is available on the website. So we're making huge progress on that, and that impacts not only the online customer, but it impacts the store customer, right, where they're browsing online before they come into the store. And just a little tidbit on that, we do surveys through a company called 4C Results. We do surveys every day online of why people are visiting worldmarket.com, what their goal was when they were there, did they find what they were looking for, were there errors, blah, 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 down the line. And it still is about 50% of the visits to the sites, just shy of 50%, like 49% of the visits to the site are people who are doing research online before they come into the store, right? So that's self-reported by the customer. They're coming out online and visiting the site, researching the product, deciding whether or not they want to get into the car and drive to the store. And last year, there was somewhere around 21 million people that would have fallen into that bucket, right? So there's huge impact on this globally across the brand as an omni-channel retailer. And our volume mix, this is another place that we have come into alignment with who we are as a company. So there was a point in 2011 where we were about 30% of our business was from dropship vendors, right? So that's 30% of our product, of our sales that were potentially not on brand and were things that you can find on Amazon.com. So stuff we could not control. This is vendors out with catalogs that are shopping it to everybody and anybody who wants to buy. And we have taken that very strategically down in 2012 and down again in 13, right? So in 13, we're now down to about 9% of our total volume is coming from dropship vendors. And we have specifically edited that assortment and pruned back the assortment. And rather than posting comps on those numbers year over year, they basically stayed flat at $5 million. And we are intentionally not growing that portion of our business and shifting it into more long tail stuff, right? Like curtain hardware rods, where it's almost more of a service business to our customer, or places where we just want to experiment with new stuff before we decide whether or not we want to bring it into the core. So once again, bringing the website into alignment with the stores and our core brand. And quite frankly, this is somewhat controversial, right? I mean, this probably could be a $10 million business rather than a $5 million business if we wanted to grow it. But we don't, because we don't think it's the right long-term strategy. And we don't think it's the right strategy for online inside of a multi-channel retailer, right? So we're excited about this and that we've been able to keep the comp growth as high as we have while consciously ignoring this $5 million chunk of our business. So that said, even with the numbers we've been posting so far, there's still massive opportunity for growth. As Barry took the slide and put it in his presentation, my number wasn't quite 70 million in 2014. I think a few million got.
Well, since I took the slide, I wanted to post it.
Right. So I think this is kind of like the sales per square foot going up to 325. But business has, as long as everything stays on track through holiday this year, the business will have doubled in 2 years. And the stretch goal that we're putting out to the team is to actually triple the business in 3 years and try to see if we can't get this in the $75 million range next year. But that's not going in the budget. Volume penetration. So this is where it really gets interesting and you can see the growth. And I realize that it's probably impossible to read. But what it does illustrate is the huge variance in penetration across product categories, right? So that super tall one, about 3/4 of the way over, that's window coverings, right? So in window coverings, we're about 15% of the business, right? I mean, we are a very meaningful portion of that business. In dining furniture, for example, or living furniture, we're in the 10, 11, 12% of the business. Outdoor, last year we represented 34 stores worth of volume, right? So there are certain categories where we're doing really well, right? And we've permeated the minds of everybody on the merchant team, the IM team, the e-commerce team, in our customers' minds as a destination for that stuff. And there's other places where quite frankly we still suck, right? We're not good yet in things other than the home decor pillar. We're okay in gifting. We're okay in seasonal. We're not great at all in entertaining yet. So there is a lot of room for growth within our core business, right? And then there's also huge amount of customer growth potential of expanding our customer base in portions of the country that we don't have stores, right? So we've made a lot of great progress, but there's a lot yet to come, and we're definitely on track for getting to the the $100 million goal within 5 years that Barry and the senior team laid out before I got here. I'm going to switch gears for a little bit and talk about mobile. I hit on this very briefly the last time we got together in the spring. I think I told you all to get new phones. I'm not sure how many of you took me up on that. But mobile is changing the face of our business and every retailer's business out there. Just some quick stats. Year over year, mobile visits to our website are up 145%, right? So on the average day, there are about 25 to 30,000 people per day that view our website on a phone, right? Either on an Android or an iPhone. So it is a huge number, and it's a huge percentage of our traffic. And phone traffic is about 28% of the total traffic to worldmarket.com. And when this kind of really flipped, right, a light switch for me was, it was about a month ago. It was on a Saturday, and we sent out an email blast. And there was 160,000, 155,000 people that visited worldmarket.com on a phone. It was 55% of our traffic for that day, right? So the transition from a desktop PC environment to a mobile environment has been violent, right, and fast. Even the people at Google, right, I was down there last week, and one of their engineers was asked, what is the most surprising thing you've seen, right? And they've said it's the shift to mobile, right? And when you get people who live in that business, right? I mean, you're thinking Google, right? How can Google be surprised about a technology trend? Even the engineers at Google have been shocked at how fast the transition had happened. You know, in China right now, over 50%, it's like 55% of the traffic to the internet is on a phone, right? So it is larger than desktop. In the US, it's about 15%, right, still, but it is growing straight up. Mobile sales are up 158% on the site. So the sales are outpacing the traffic growth, but you ain't seen nothing yet, right? You know, there's still fairly low smartphone penetration. You know, in the US, it's still only about 1 in 5 phones. But as people are cycling over their feature phones, everybody is buying a smartphone rather than a feature phone. And I pulled some numbers earlier. So 79% of smartphone owners are shoppers, right? So 80% of them basically actually use their phone to shop. And 84% of them actually use their phone in store while they're shopping, right? So they're in your store, they're looking around, and they are doing what? What does everybody think they're doing when they're in the store? Comp shopping, right? They're going out and comparing prices of other people. Well, that's somewhat true, but this huge study that Google did, only 20% of the time that they're in the store using their phone are they actually comp shopping. 60% of the time, they're on the retailer's own website looking for more product information, right? So they're actually standing in front of the shelf and trying to find more information about, you know, where the dining room table is made or what the ingredients are in a particular, you know, food dish. So 60% of the time, they're actually on our website doing further research, right? And people are now switching, in a lot of cases, from going to an associate first. This is especially prevalent in the electronics business, right? From trying to find a blue shirt inside of Best Buy, they're pulling up the Best Buy website first and trying to find the information that way. And those trends are coming to our business as well and are going to impact the way our customers think about us and the way our customers shop inside of our stores. Skipping forward, let's say we do skip forward 4 years, right? So everybody now has heard of Google Glass, right? Say wearable technology, it's pretty hardcore geek yet. I got to try it on a week and a half ago, and you know, it's still a little bit clumsy. It's still a little bit geeky. But you fast forward out 4 years, right? They're working on a deal with Warby Parker, which is a huge manufacturer of eyeglasses, on integrated displays of information directly into a normal pair of eyeglasses, right? And there are apps already coming out for this where Google, if you haven't seen this, now with some of their photo apps, will auto-recognize pictures and where you are, right? So you could go into, you know, a museum in France, you go to the Louvre, you stare at the Mona Lisa, and all of a sudden, Google Glass and these apps start feeding you data about the Mona Lisa, right? So you no longer have to wear those headphones, right? That try and tell you know the history of the painting. And they're doing that not only with things like art, but they're doing it with product, right? So I mean, 4 years from now, it's a very real possibility that somebody will come into one of our stores. They'll have a pair of glasses on that look very similar to these, bless you, and they will be able to pick up a package, and their glasses will automatically pull that product up, start pulling up customer reviews about that product, other places where that product might be for sale cheaper. The world is changing, and it is changing dramatically and fast. Right, and it is the stat I gave last week at the all hands meeting. In India, right, people get their their food stamp allowance, right? I'm not sure exactly what it's called, their stipend or whatever. There are over 200 million people that get their allowance on a phone, right? So they are no longer having to stand in line and get pieces of paper handed out to them. It gets pushed to a phone. And that's how they redeem it. In Africa, there are more people that have cell phones than have running water. So the proliferation of this is unbelievable. And then you take the Africa example a little bit further out. There's people that never used to know the cost or the market price of the grain they were selling, right? So they took whatever the dealer who they were selling their grain to was offering for their grain, and they had no idea that the other guy a mile away was offering twice the price, right? There's now transparency that are coming to markets across the world because of this technology. So I know that kind of sounds a little bit scattered, but I just want to open up kind of everybody's mind to the transformation that is taking place, and its impacts are going to be felt, I think, across every industry. And felt very much in retail. So, good, cool. So now back to us. So we're going to switch gears again, I guess, to kind of the third chunk of the presentation, is to talk about our evolution into a omni-channel merchant, right? So talked a little bit about how we're bringing the cultures together, about how we're bringing the assortment together across the chain. Now we're going to talk about how we can actually bring some of that to life and integrate the stores and online. So as you guys know, at the last meeting, we talked about us getting into the buy online, pick up in store space. And as you probably all know now, we turned our pilot live about 3 weeks ago. So we launched the pilot on time and on budget. So we're pretty excited about that. And the reaction has been very, very positive from our customers and from the pilot stores. So I'll walk you through a little bit about the process and how that looks, and then we've got a little bit of a video to show you. So here's the basic process. So the customer starts on the site, and I'm gonna actually just jump into the screenshots. So customer comes into the site, and we automatically recognize where you are in the country, right? So we talked a little bit about this, SOMO, remember social, mobile, local. We kind of tackled, or at least are tackling the first two. Now we're tackling the third one, right? So bringing the experience that the customer receives online into much more of a locally relevant experience to the customer. So you'll now see up in the top-hand navigation, it's by the cart. I'm sorry, I can't point with my laser pointer. I don't know if you guys can see this mouse here, but we now recognize that this customer is in Oakland, right? So they come to the site, and we automatically pop up that their closest store is Oakland, and we assign them to that store. We give them the opportunity, if they want to change the store. Maybe I'm in the office, and I actually want to pick it up at Walnut Creek by my house on the way home. Right, so we are recognizing where you are and either showing or not showing chunks of the website to you based on that, right? So if you live in, Wyoming, where we don't have a store, you'll never see buy online, pick up in store. You won't even know we have it, right? It's completely turned off. So we avoid the confusion and complexity of, talking about buy online, pick up in store and saying, sorry, we only do it in this state. You can't have it, right? So we just basically take that functionality and turn it off. You never even know it's there. So once I get to a product page that is available for online or for buy online, pickup in store, you'll see this section down here where it says available for store pickup at Oakland. So we're actually pushing the availability information directly to the customer on the product detail page. So again, I think we took kind of the industry bar out there, which was make somebody type in a zip code, have it do a lookup, return it back to them. We're actually pulling your assigned store and the inventory information again in automatically, right? And kind of surfacing that information so the customer doesn't have to dig another 2 steps to learn it. And again, the opportunity to change store, right? So maybe I wanted this chair, it's not available in Oakland, I could check the Walnut Creek store or the Pleasanton store to see if I can find this chair. I then add it to my shopping cart, and you'll see this section here where it says in stock and ready to ship or available for in-store pickup at Oakland, right? So then the customer chooses whether or not they want their order delivered to them or if they want to pick it up in store. And then I would go through basically the regular checkout process on the site. So I'm going to walk you through a little demo here.
It's Wake Up Wednesday. I have to buy my World Market coffee today. Oh, what a beautiful homepage. Okay, let's go find their French roast, because it's my favorite. And it's available for in-store pickup at Oakland. I'll buy 3 bags this time. And I'll check out. Okay, my order is complete. Now I just need to wait for my email confirmation. Ah, it looks like there's an alert on my phone. That means there's an in-store pickup order. I better go to the portal and fulfill the order. All right, let's see. Right here it says to acknowledge the order. Someone is looking for coffee on our Wake Up Wednesday. Let me print the pick sheet. And then I'll go back to the office and pick up the pick sheet so I can fulfill the order. Okay, I need to pick 3 12-ounce French roast coffees. 1, 2, 3. This order is complete. Now all I need to do is let the customer know that it's ready for pickup on the phone. I scan the order on the barcode. And that lets the customer know it's time for her to come down and pick up. Good evening, welcome to World Market.
Hi, I'm here to pick up an order I placed online.
Fantastic, what's your name?
Jackie Stahl.
Great, do you have your email confirmation?
Here you go.
Thank you so much. Let me run to the back and get that for you.
Oh, I love World Market. Look at all their new product for fall. This dinnerware collection is so pretty. I could really use this to update my dining table. I'll definitely be back to check those out.
Yes, I have your order, 3 coffees
Oh,
right
awesome.
here. Let's walk over to the register. So what I need you to do you have the credit card that you used to make the
I
purchase?
do. Here you go.
Fantastic. Yes, that matches. All right, all I need you to do is to sign for your order right here. Fantastic. You are all set to go. Thank you so much for coming by. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, this was so easy and convenient. I'll definitely be back this weekend to look at the dinnerware in the back.
Wonderful. Have a lovely
Thank you so
evening.
much.
Bye-bye.
That was so easy.
So you got to see a little bit of the e-com department there. So we actually took all that video on an iPhone and just edited it. So one of the things I want to point out there is you saw how much of that was actually done on the new phones. So we realized, obviously, very early on in this process that we don't have people, like you would have in a Best Buy or Walmart or whatever, that are sitting back behind a computer and just wait for these orders to show up, right? I mean, everybody in our store is actually on the floor working. So that's why we're sending the alert to the phone, right, to say, hey, there's an order, you have to work. And then once they're out and picking the order, they don't have to then go back and say, yes, I got it. They take the phone, they scan it. And when they scan the order, that's what sends the email to the customer that actually says, hey, Scott, time to come in and pick up your order, right? And it sends him both an email and a text message that his order is ready for pickup. Comes in. Again, you don't need to stand in line and go through the register. You don't need to go to a special buy online, pick up in store desk that's got its own computer. It's all on the phone, right? So they walk in, they grab the phone, they scan the barcode, and the customer is done, in and out. So, which, quite frankly, I haven't seen anybody who is doing this the way we're doing it. So we're really out in front, and I think it's pretty cool, and the teams did a really good job. And our customers love it. So I'll just read this real quick. First of all, the time from order to delivery was less than 24 hours. I was so impressed. The people who helped me were extremely friendly and expressed appreciation for me trying the new system. It was so convenient to do in-store pickup. Picked up my order in a matter of a few minutes for the warehouse man, which is interesting, to meet me and help load in the car. A walk in the park. Many thanks. So our customers have been very excited about it, and it's shown in the numbers, right? So we've got this live in 3 pilot stores right now, Oakland, Walnut Creek, and Concord. And we're doing between $6,000 and $10,000 a week in sales, about 100 orders a week. And we have done this with 0 advertising, right? We have not told anybody anything. We haven't done anything in stores. We haven't done any email. All we did was turn that little checkbox on online on the website, and the orders are now showing up. So it's really cool. I wish I could tell you that there weren't a couple of bumps in the road, because there were with the initial rollout, but we think we've now got them pretty well smoothed out, and we're rocking and rolling. And our customers, it's interesting. We went through a lot of debate before we turned this live about what are they going to buy? Is it going to decimate the online furniture business? Everybody's going to buy furniture online, or is it going to be all food because they don't want to go in because they're we're worried that we're going to run out of olive oil and they're not going to have what they want? Well, they're actually buying everything. Right? They're buying from across the store. We've sold everything from a $2.99 can of Heinz soup to $1,000 or $800 Augustus bookshelf, right? So they are buying everything across the store, and it's been really exciting so far. So the current plan right now is to roll out both Sacramento and Colorado in the month of October. So we're going to roll those 2 markets out and let that ride through the holiday season and see what the impact is. See how our customers respond, and see what the impact is on store labor. And then we're planning on taking those learnings and then rolling it out chain-wide next year. So thank you. I appreciate it.